Hello and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where today we'll be starting a brand new park build on the San Diego map, where we will be building Jurassic Park San Diego. This will be a speed build series. I'm thinking of starting up a live stream series for a different park, but we'll see where that goes. I still have my Jurassic Park challenge mode to do. But yeah, this is the start of something really special. I'm happy with how this first little bit turned out. And for this first little bit, we're doing two enclosures, I guess you can say. This first one, which you're seeing now, is going to be a little homalocephaly enclosure, just in that guest area. And then the second is a Parasaurolophus and Mamenchisaurus enclosure. I'll probably add some Pachycephalosaurus in there later. I didn't in this episode. But I think to really bring together that game trail scene from The Lost World, we should add some Pachy's in there, even though it is quite a large enclosure. As you can see, I've also done a little garden-y circle thing. I really like the design of that. I did that before I was really recording, when I was just playing around with some designs, and I really like how that looks, so I decided to keep that. This did take me a while to get started, and that does happen sometimes. Like, starting a park is the hardest thing. Starting with like a unique guest entrance, and I say unique compared to previous ones. It's alright to do something similar, but you want something a bit unique, you know. And I didn't want to copy my Canada Dinosaur Reserve build that I've just done. Because originally what I was doing is doing that little kind of path deviation thing you see in that. If you haven't watched that, you should go watch that after this. But yeah, I kind of wanted to do something different from there, because obviously it's not going to look good if I keep repeating it. We are using a different guest entrance, so it would be a bit different. With the Canada Dinosaur Reserve, we were using the Jurassic World one. Here we're using the Jurassic Park, and I really wanted it to be central to the amphitheater, because the amphitheater is like the big draw of this map, right? It's the big focal point of this map, and I really wanted the arrival point to be close to that, but like, or, you know, looking down there, but I didn't want it to be too close, in that it's kind of, I don't know, you're not having a helicopter flying through the middle of a park that's dropping guests off. It's kind of towards the back. So that was kind of my thinking there, and it just took me a while until I eventually landed on this weird geometric design, which I'll probably end up changing in the end, because what I'll end up doing is probably moving the hotels along that straight bit on the right hand side of the entrance, and then maybe making that another like gardeny area where the hotels are now. But I'll play around with that off camera maybe, or you'll see that in the next speed build. I'm not too sure. But most of this episode is dedicated to building the Parasaur and Mamenchisaurus enclosure, which I'm really happy with. It's kind of a mishmash of deserty kind of biome ecosystems, I guess you can say. So we've got almost like a coastal tropical thing going on, like an oasis in the middle. Then it moves on to a kind of more deserty area on the right, and then kind of keeps that tropical sense on the left-hand side. You'll see what I mean in a bit when we start putting the foliage in. But my goal for this park is to do something more like what zoos do, and have each enclosure be different. What I used to do way back when is all my enclosures were really uniform, which made not only the park look boring, but it was also kind of boring to make, because I was just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But now with this, what I want to do is kind of have each enclosure be unique, and what I kind of did that in the Canada Dinosaur Reserve park. But the thing with that is I'd create sections, which isn't too unrealistic, but I'd create sections of ecosystems. So I'd have the normal alpine-y environment, which was pretty much most of the park. Again, it was still taking on that very uniform feel, but also I had a really small area that was like a rocky kind of mountainous area. I say mountainous, it was like mounds that were rocky. But I also had a section of the park that was like snow, like a winter wonderland type thing. That turned out nice. I like that. And then I also had another small section that was like the redwood area. And so, they were kind of spread out across multiple enclosures in multiple sections of the park. But what I want to kind of do here is say after this, big grand opening, enclosure with a Mamenchisaurus and Parasaurolophus, I kind of want to do, say, a salt plains enclosure and then a rocky canyon, I guess, type of enclosure, as far as canyons can really go in this game, but like a dunes kind of enclosure, a jungly kind of enclosure, a coastal enclosure, just all these different kind of things, maybe like a savanna enclosure or something. Just try and make each enclosure different, and it's not going to be all, this is the savanna section, this is the coastal section. It's just going to be like, okay, this dinosaur or this enclosure is going to have, the beach one, the tropical, the coastal one, and then the one next to it, is going to be canyony one. But I feel like if the enclosures are like joined together, then they could probably be a bit more uniform and follow the same ecosystem. Whereas with, if they're separated, if they're near each other but they're separated, say separated by a guest section or a path or something, then it's like, okay, this is the coastal one and this is the salt plains one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to how that turns out. I'm looking forward to this park in general. I mean, it already has like the interesting design with the half hexagon, octagon thing going on with the amphitheater, and then just the amphitheater in general. Working that into it is just always interesting. I have like somewhat built a park on this map, but I didn't like where it was going, so I stopped building it. Stopped building it in favor of the Canada Dinosaur Reserve, actually. So there you go. That's kind of where the idea for the Dinosaur Reserve came from. I'm pretty sure I just spun a wheel to see what map I got. I got Canada, and I was like, you know what? I was planning on doing this one for a while. Let's do that. And San Diego got left in the ditch. I don't have that save anymore. I really wasn't happy with the park. But I had some interesting ideas in there. It wasn't horrendously bad compared to other parks I've done, but yeah, it was not great. But as you can see here, I'm kind of laying down a lot of rocks. I used a lot of rocks in this enclosure because rocks are like almost the foundation of every enclosure that you should be building. There's rocks in everything. There's very few enclosures where I feel you need very little rocks. So yeah, but foliage and you got to combine your foliage and rocks to work well. But I'm definitely not a person that should be giving sandbox advice because I'm not the best sandbox park builder by any stretch of the imagination. But I have proved a lot. I have improved a lot since, say, the Jurassic World Evolution 1 days, but also just what was the first park I built far out? The Southwest USA map, the Grand Canyon Dinosaur Park or whatever I called it. I've improved a great deal since then. I kind of had an interesting start to that park, and then it died out really quick. But yeah, no, I've gotten a lot better. I can say that. I will show you some overshots of what I've done at the end. So yeah, don't worry, you'll get better views than what you're seeing through the speed build. But I can't think of much more to say, so I'm going to sign off. I'll leave you with the rest of the tour and the music. Well, not really the tour, the rest of the build, I should say, and the music. And then the little overview shots I give at the end. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!